Today, we are reviewing Volume 2 of Young Gigi's Dragon Ball After, the story, right after the end of Dragon Ball Z when Goku flew off with Oob to train him. On the very first chapter of Dragon Ball After, we saw Goku turn evil. His primal Saiyan instincts came out. After his training with Oob, he was hit on the back of the head, reversing the effects of what happened to him when he bumped his head as a child on Earth. Now, his Saiyan primal instincts have been unleashed as he pierces Oob with his fist, killing his student. At least we think he's dead. And before he lands on the ground, Vegeta rescues him and lays him down gently. Now it's up to Vegeta, who apparently has a brand new transformation, which we're about to jump into. The brand new transformation is called Night Soul Vegeta. He doesn't really have too many physical appearance changes, but Goku recognizes that basically he looks like when he was Majin Vegeta with all of the veins and the bulky muscles, and he even has the dark lines under his eyes. However, he's obviously not taken over by Bobby D. What this is a mastered Super Saiyan 2 state. So if you guys know the different grades of Super Saiyan, basically when Vegeta came out of the time chamber versus Cell, he was grade 2, and then Trunks' bulky form was grade 3, and then Goku, when he came out, was actually grade 4, which is a mastered Super Saiyan form, which didn't lose any stamina and was basically the best fighting form at the moment until Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2, which was grade 5. However, Super Saiyan 2 still ultimately had a stamina drain effect, but now Night Soul Vegeta has been able to master Super Saiyan 2 to the point where there is a very minimal stamina drain effect, just like the form that Goku used versus Cell, Perfect Cell, but back then he was only Super Saiyan 1. Vegeta has applied this methodology to Super Saiyan 2. And so the battle we get here is almost identical in terms of the combat and them beating on each other of Majin Vegeta versus Goku back in the Buu arc. You see a very epic battle here as they are just wailing on each other. There's lightning, there's dynamic punches, and they both look menacing and evil. So right now we're getting the Majin Vegeta vs Goku version 2.0, and it is epic. As they completely wail on each other, there's destruction all over the place. Goku is still able to land a lot of devastating blows on Vegeta, sending him flying through rocks and mountains, but Vegeta surprisingly is not taking that much damage, returning a lot of these attacks, flying up into the air, and then shooting down a gigantic ki blast down at Goku. I keep calling him Goku, but this is actually Kakarot, who uses instant transmission, teleports behind Vegeta, and as he throws his kick, Vegeta blocks it with his arm. A lot of similar combat techniques that we saw in the Majin Vegeta vs Goku fight in that Buu arc, and I love it. That was peak Yamamuro, and you can tell that Young Gigi here, the artist and author behind this, really took a lot of inspiration from that fight. So as they create some distance between themselves, Kakarot says, "This is much better than I expected. When we were both at Super Saiyan 2, there was a significant power gap between us, but you've completely filled that gap in. We're dead even now. You have much more control over your reserves than I do." And Kakarot here acknowledges that Vegeta is actually a genius. Vegeta says, "I wish I could accept the praise, but you are the true genius, Kakarot." And basically he has a flashback here. He's talking about the biggest gap that happened between the two of them. He realized in the Buu arc that Goku was easily number 1, and before then they were always very closely matched. But Kakarot, the main catalyst for him to really skyrocket ahead of Vegeta, was the time that he came out of the room of Spirit and Time with Gohan in order to fight Cell. Goku was able to fight Perfect Cell heads up, whereas Vegeta could not stand a chance. And the reason for that was that Goku was able to master Super Saiyan to the point where he basically eliminated the stamina drain. And by using this methodology and applying it to Super Saiyan 2, he was able to create Night Soul Vegeta. Vegeta goes on to compare him and Trunks' training to Goku and Gohan's during the Cell arc. And I gotta say, from a writer's perspective, I really love what Young Gigi is doing here. He's taking a moment in Dragon Ball history and he's applying the methodology and thinking behind it to a new age. Vegeta is acknowledging the fact that he and Trunks couldn't really get any stronger. They were both fools for the way that they were training and trying to improve themselves, whereas it was Goku who was the one who understood how to achieve the maximum power of a Super Saiyan. It was Goku who unleashed the full destructive might of the original Super Saiyan form by achieving Super Saiyan Stage 4. And as you remember from the Perfect Cell arc, which was my favorite arc in all of Dragon Ball by the way, Goku, when he was fighting Perfect Cell, was literally blowing everyone away except for Gohan, who was the one who was able to turn into Super Saiyan 2 first. So now we're going to dive into a little bit of backstory, as Vegeta acknowledges that Goku even was able to turn into Super Saiyan 3 all along. Vegeta obviously has always been behind Goku. And so he has this backflash where he's talking to Bulma, and basically, even though he admits that he doesn't want to copy Goku, he does want to learn Goku's training methods, particularly when he was a child, and about King Kai. So Bulma talks about all of these different training methods that Vegeta has gone through, and interestingly, this is what Vegeta is going to do. He's basically going to walk Goku's footsteps during this time skip between the end of Dragon Ball Z and now. He's going to go to Korin's tower, he's going to go to King Kai, and he's going to start learning a lot of the techniques and training methods that Goku was able to use throughout Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but Vegeta never had the chance to. So the first thing he does is he actually flies to Korin's tower, and he wants to drink the divine water that Goku drank in Dragon Ball, which gave him a significant power boost. Now, funnily enough, in the current Dragon Ball Super manga, Vegeta trained on Yardrat, and he just learned instantaneous movement, instant transmission, and as well as some other amazing techniques which we're going to find in the upcoming chapters. But he said after he used instant transmission that he doesn't want to use it again. He doesn't want to copy Goku's techniques. Now keep in mind, this fan manga was drawn and written a long time before Dragon Ball Super, but it's actually kind of hysterical because Planet Yardrat is basically the last element that Vegeta is missing in this fan manga in order to catch up to all of Goku's special training, and he actually does do that in the current Dragon Ball Super manga. Korin basically tells Vegeta, if you want me to train you and give you the divine water, you have to climb up the tower just as Goku did, and basically he acknowledges that Vegeta was able to climb up the tower super fast in just a few seconds. We're also going to get some flashbacks of Vegeta training with King Kai, but first, Goku here is going to acknowledge that Vegeta's training is impressive, but let's be honest, Goku has Super Saiyan 3, and Vegeta says, here it comes, as Kakarot transforms into Super Saiyan 3. Now look at that image. How awesome does that Super Saiyan 3 Goku look? Fantastic, amazing art from young Gigi, and he even still has the menacing look in Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta says that hair never gets any easier to look at. Piccolo understands that Goku's ki has just expanded past Vegeta's yet again, and so he contacts the rest of the Z fighters in order to get the Dragon Balls. He's sure that they're going to need them at some point during this fight, as he explains that Kakarot has himself become the greatest threat Earth, no, the universe has ever known. The strongest warrior of the Saiyan race has regained his vicious fighting instincts, and his name is Kakarot. Just look at that Super Saiyan 3 image. How beautiful is that? Okay, and now we're actually going to jump to Gohan, who's saying, I can't let this go on, that could do serious damage to Earth. And basically Piccolo is going to be playing catch up with Gohan, explaining to him what happened with him getting hit on the head, and now his Saiyan primal instincts were unlocked, and he has never had a chance to overcome them like Vegeta did. Now he's much more like a Raditz. He's very familiar to Raditz in the sense that he's just raging and murderous and wants to kill everybody. So everybody is in complete danger. Awesome panel of Super Saiyan 3 Goku right there, and the battle between Goku and Vegeta is about to begin as Gohan and Piccolo try and figure out a way that they can actually stop Goku. Piccolo says to get the Dragon Balls, Gohan wants to help, and basically Piccolo says he thinks that Vegeta can actually take him, or at least hold him off for long enough that they can collect the Dragon Balls, because all hell is about to break loose, and they're going to need them. Vegeta's new form is called Night Soul, so it's perfected Super Saiyan 2, and it's basically amplified his Super Saiyan 2 power level times 2, and it's also given him significantly less stamina drain. So he tells Kakarot to brace himself and starts charging up a final flash at point blank range. Kakarot basically just mocks him, saying, that's not going to take me out, and Vegeta launches that final flash directly at him. Now, Kakarot calls it stupid, and basically I think he's just catching it with one hand here. Obviously, a huge difference in power still between Kakarot and Night Soul Vegeta. Now, as Kakarot blasts it back at Vegeta, he's able to jump up in the air and then starts a large volley of blasts, which we know in Dragon Ball never do anything. Kakarot's basically going to tell Vegeta that this is pointless, you don't have the speed or the strength to defeat me. Even your Night Soul is no match, and Vegeta's basically going to start talking about power levels here. And I actually really like this. I love how he dives back into the whole power level scheme. He talks about the actual multipliers of the different Super Saiyan grades and forms, and here he's going to basically start talking about the different power level between Super Saiyan 3 and Night Soul. So basically, Vegeta's saying in their base Super Saiyan form, Goku is still almost twice as strong as Vegeta. I don't really agree with that, but in Super Saiyan 2, he's still almost twice as strong, and the Super Saiyan 3 multiplies it times 400, so Goku goes from 500 billion to 2 trillion, where Night Soul is only at 600 billion. So there is a massive difference in their power levels right now. 2 trillion to 600 billion. Saying that Kakarot is basically over 3 times stronger than Vegeta at this current point. However, Vegeta shows a smile here, even admitting that he's no match for Kakarot, and Piccolo says almost all of Vegeta's moves have been flashy distractions with no real power. What is he planning? I couldn't even begin to guess. Now, Vegeta has been planning for this moment ever since Goku left. He's been trying to figure out how exactly he could surpass Kakarot. Alright, now we're going to dive into flashback territory as we start understanding what Vegeta has gone through during his training, during the time that he's been following Goku's footsteps. And we go to the point where Vegeta actually goes to Snake Way, and he is going to undergo King Kai's training just as Kakarot did. So this is pretty interesting. This is something we never really seen before. Vegeta and the other world flying down Snake Way, and he's going to meet King Kai. There's going to be a lot of dialogue here, so I'm going to go through this very quickly, but long story short, Vegeta is going to have to do all of the things that Goku did in order to receive the training from King Kai, including making him laugh. Vegeta basically explains that what he wants to learn is the kaio-ken. And obviously King Kai, he's very against it. He's saying that it's just not worth the damage it does to your body. Vegeta's saying, I'll figure out a way to master it so that it doesn't do so much damage to my body, just like Goku figured out a way to master Super Saiyan so it doesn't put strain on his body. And there's a lot more dialogue here, basically talking about Super Saiyan and Kaio-ken and making King Kai laugh and all this. Basically says he doesn't need to know the Spirit Bomb, he just needs to know the Kaio-ken. And he wants to be able to stack the Kaio-ken on top of his Super Saiyan forms to use Super Kaio-ken and be able to go all the way up times 20. If Kakarot can do it, Vegeta can do it as well. So for some reason, Vegeta actually drops out of his Night Soul and he's just sitting in base Super Saiyan 2, and Kakarot's sitting there analyzing him, trying to figure out what exactly is he scheming, as Vegeta wants Kakarot to charge in and attack him. So Vegeta says, if you don't come to me, well then I'll come to you. Your instincts never fail you, Kakarot. You were right, I do have a trick up my sleeve. This technique can even overwhelm the power of a Super Saiyan 3. And there he uses Super Kaio-ken. So Vegeta had been trying to figure out a way to get past Super Saiyan 3. You gotta remember that after the Buu saga, after Goku had Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta called Goku the #1 Saiyan. He acknowledged the fact that Kakarot was far surpassed him. If he has Super Saiyan 3 and I don't have it, there's no way I could ever get past Kakarot. Unless during this time skip in between the end of Dragon Ball Z and now, Vegeta thought to himself, I need to figure out a way to beat Super Saiyan 3. I need a way to temporarily get stronger than Super Saiyan 3. If I ever have the chance to defeat Kakarot again, I need to have plenty of tricks up my sleeve, ways to bolster my strength above that of even a Super Saiyan 3. And with that, he blasts off at magnificent speed, diving directly towards Goku, doing some of the fancy Kaio-ken tricks as it kind of bounces around the enemy. Super Saiyan 3 Kakarot there, an awesome image by Young Gigi as he shoots out a volley of energy blasts. Vegeta undoubtedly is just going to simply use the Kaio-ken speed, and he dodges all of those blasts. He kind of phases in and out, waves in between them. He flies towards Vegeta and they get into a fist fight up in the sky. Kakarot is able to land a devastating punch on Vegeta. That's actually what I made the thumbnail of. But Vegeta is able to blast away after taking that hit. Kakarot saying, I forgot how explosive the Kaio-ken is. Well, I don't think he really would have forgot it, but he definitely hasn't used it in a while, and he definitely hasn't gone up against someone else who has the Kaio-ken. So for sure, it's going to be taking Goku/Kakarot by surprise, but he knows how to counter it as well. So as Vegeta comes in, Goku is able to just slam him with a fist, punch him really, really hard in the face. And even with Vegeta's Super Kaio-ken, he is still losing to Goku's Super Saiyan 3 here. But Piccolo recognizes that he's doing this for a reason. And the reason is he knows that Super Saiyan 3 places a tremendous amount of stress and burden on the user's stamina. So when you're in Super Saiyan 3, you are just burning through your stamina like crazy. You have to end the fight quickly. And if Vegeta is able to basically survive through Super Saiyan 3's attacks and basically just wait it out, eventually Kakarot will run out of stamina and Vegeta can actually take the upper hand. So here, awesome picture there of Super Saiyan 3 Kakarot, man. Oh my god. So basically here, Kakarot's getting all cocky, which isn't really the style of Goku. Goku would understand that why is he letting me hit him is, I feel like Goku would see through this very quickly. And for whatever reason, they're trying to change Goku's personality a little bit too much here, in my opinion, because he would know that Super Saiyan 3 has a huge flaw, and that flaw is if you can't end the fight quickly, you're going to be completely depleted of stamina. So as the fight continues, they just pretty much go back and forth, but it's very, very obvious that Super Saiyan 3 Kakarot has the vast upper hand. Kakarot just kicks Vegeta in the face again. He is taking so much damage to the face, who flies down into the ground, a giant explosion as he lands there. But he says, this is weird. Despite the obvious gap in power levels, I'm hardly hurting him. And Vegeta simply just gets up from the ground. And it shows that here, Vegeta understands Kakarot is catching up. He's starting to understand what exactly Vegeta is doing, which is trying to wear out his stamina. But there's something more. Vegeta is not taking damage. So Vegeta is actually using something that is not quite out in the open, hasn't really been revealed yet. Meanwhile, Gohan is worried about collecting all of the Dragon Balls at this point. He's going to team up with Goten and Trunks in order to gain the Dragon Balls. Later, the three of them will be joining the fight. Kakarot says, Vegeta, how long do you plan on continuing this charade? I'm fully aware my attacks have been ineffective. In the instant before I attack you, you're raising the kaio-ken multiplier above 10, aren't you? And Vegeta says, Kakarot, you know how to make a man feel naked. Extrapolating from that, you can't use more than 10 times kaio-ken consistently, can you? And Kakarot basically recognizes that this methodology is flawed as well, because every time he does, his stamina takes a hit, and Vegeta says, it sounds like you've also been experimenting with kaio-ken in Stage 4 Super Saiyan. That's right, because remember he used Super Kaio-ken versus Pikkon. But he says, with this combination, I'll take you down. Time for Stage 5, a 5th stage of Super Saiyan, as Vegeta begins to power up yet again. His power swells up, his muscles bulge, energy starts emanating from him as he uses Super Kaio-ken times 20. Now, obviously, this is going to put a gigantic strain on Vegeta's body. It should make him stronger than Super Saiyan 3 for the time being, but we don't know if that will be enough for Vegeta to take down this evil Kakarot. For that, you'll have to find out in the next video. I'm Mastar. If you guys enjoyed this, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below, and I'll see you for Chapter 3. Owarida!